I welcome you to another market review session. So let's dive right into the charts, starting with the dollar index as usual. Last week we outlined that the dollar index is bullish and we would like to see some pullbacks coming in. However, we did not get that last week. We spent most of the week in a consolidation. So the dollar index, we still need to see lower prices before we can buy again, possibly from some of these levels of support, right? Euro dollar, very much the same. Pound dollar also, since they are correlated. Also spent the week in a consolidation here on the euro dollar. So once again, we're looking for some higher prices, for some pullbacks before we can sell, right? It's pretty much all there is to the euro dollar. Pound dollar, once again the same. The only difference here is that the pound dollar managed to make a lower low, indicating that the pound is weaker compared to the euro. So pound dollar might be the better pair coming in next week for potential shorts, right? Next up we have gold. We haven't had much change on gold in past week. It's also consolidating around all-time highs. So with gold we need to see some lower prices, at least below these levels. Below these lows here would be ideal. Looking at a higher time frame like the weekly, we have some levels of support here, maybe some imbalances here. So these areas will be important to watch out for. However, as of right now, there is not really anything going on gold on the daily, so we need to see more data. All right, next up we have Bitcoin. Bitcoin hasn't seen much change at all. It's still hanging around the all-time high, and as we mentioned in some of the previous sessions, this is likely the time where people will be split in half, with one half chasing the longs, FOMOing in because they expect Bitcoin to go to $1 million, and the other half will be trying to catch the top. And as you can see, the weekly candles are closing with a lot of weeks, so that's a lot of indecision in the marketplace. And the Bitcoin, as of right now, it still needs some major impactful move before we can determine likely future direction, right? Because it's just hanging around the all-time high, and it is not ready, in my opinion, for either side. We have to see the move first before we can determine whether it's going higher or lower. As of right now, obviously the higher time frame is still bullish, but the lower time frames like the daily and 4-hour are starting to consolidate, or they've already started. They have been consolidating for some time, so it is a little bit uncertain. Need to see some impulsive move down or up to determine the future potential moves, right? Next we have S&P 500 or the US 500, and we finally broke out of this consolidation around all-time high. So this could be some early signs of pullback. This could be a pullback forming right now. Looking at the 4-hour, we have some nice sequence of lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, and lower lows, right? So on the lower time frame, we're already in a downtrend. However, the weekly obviously is still super bullish. So right now, it's the same. We need more data, to be honest, because one time frame is bullish, but the lower time frame is bearish. And if we are to buy, there's really not anything as of right now indicating that the buys are coming back. And as for the sells, we would need to see some pullback, right? So this, you could short this possibly if that's within your plan, but we need to see some pullbacks into some levels of resistance, like maybe right here, or some of the imbalances right here. Okay, and the S&P 500 as the last instrument we're looking at. It's once again the same as the S&P, since they are correlated as well. We broke out of this consolidation with quite some momentum. So once again, the higher time frame is super bullish, and we're coming into some levels of support, the previous highs, right? but for the longs, we still need to see some sort of rollover. You know, price needs to hang around a level a little bit before it can continue the move higher. And if we are to continue the bearish movement, we obviously need some pullback into some levels of resistance and then a new low confirming our downtrend, right? So that's it for the charts, guys, and let's take a look at the economy calendar for the upcoming week. And looking at the economy calendar for the upcoming week, starting with Monday, we have pretty much no news. There's nothing significant, nothing major. We have some medium impact news, but that's about it. It's also the beginning of the week, so it's likely not going to be a volatile day, likely just no action in the markets, and it's best to wait it out and see what data it gives us, what candles it prints for us to use in the next days, right? On Tuesday, we have quite a bit of medium impact news from the London session. However, the main news on Tuesday will be during New York session. We have new home sales. It's going to be approximately 2 hours after the New York session opens. So Tuesday should definitely bring in some moves. Then on Wednesday, we have some medium impact news for the euro for the London session. And we have durable goods orders in the New York session 40 minutes after it opens. So Wednesday also should provide us with some clean moves, hopefully. There's also crude oil inventories, which will affect the oil and the Canadian dollar. So that's also something to watch out for if you're trading the CAD, for example. On Thursday, we have New Zealand holidays, so this will affect those of you who are trading the Kiwi. Other pairs shouldn't be affected much, if at all. And on Thursday, we have a GDP for the US dollar, and we have jobless claims, so this will be probably one of the biggest movers this week. So Wednesday, Thursday looking pretty good. We also have Bank of Japan interest rate decision later in the day, followed by a press conference the following day for us here in our time zone. That's going to be important for those of you trading the yen, obviously. And on Friday, we have some high impact news for the US dollar. Looks like the whole week, excuse me, the whole week should be pretty packed with action starting from Tuesday to Wednesday. So that's it for today, guys. I wish you luck, and I will see you next week. Cheers.